Good morning, my friends. How is everybody doing? I'm telling you that my slides are going to look like spring because we made it through January, and I'm rejoicing about that. And while some of us, Jennifer, may not matter to them, I am very excited about it. So we are going with the spring theme today. And we are talking about the Wisconsin card sorting test. I picked this one because who doesn't love a good card sorting game? And also because I had hopes that I would understand it a little bit better, but it still is a little wonky, so let's get into it. Purpose of the Wisconsin card sorting test is assessing executive function, measuring cognitive flexibility, and evaluating problem solving. It evaluates higher order thinking skills that are crucial for daily problem solving, decision making processes, which is executive function, right? This test gauges only one's ability to adapt to changing rules, reflecting on key components of cognitive flexibility. So that sounds like it would go with the ACT counseling, right? It analyzes the effectiveness of problem-solving strategies, providing insights into abstract reasoning capabilities. So to go over the test quickly, the card sorting task. The test involves sorting cards based on changing rules, prompting cognitive flexibility and adaptability in participants. Stimulus cards. The participants use 4 unique cards, each with different colors and shapes, to match response cards during the test. And clients match the card. Feedback is provided only as correct or incorrect, encouraging trial and error to enhance problem-solving skills. The card features are, there are color options. Some come in 4 distinct colors, red, blue, yellow, and green, enabling diverse sorting tasks. There's the shape variation. Each card features 4 geometric shapes: circles, triangles, stars, and crosses, enhancing cognitive challenge. And number representative. Cards incorporate numerical values from 1 to 4, adding complexity to the sorting process and the assessment. So basically you have different ways that you can sort. You can sort by shape, you can sort by color, and you can sort by the numbers that are on the cards. And they're not going to tell you what you're supposed to sort. You're just supposed to watch the pattern and take your best guess. And then whoever is assessing it will tell you, they can say correct or they can say incorrect. And then you need to make your next decision based off of that. So that's basically all it is. It reminds me of Uno a little bit. You know how sometimes you go by colors and sometimes you go by numbers, but you just have to figure out what exactly the rules are, because all you get is a correct or an incorrect to base your next decision off of. Oh, I got ahead of myself. Administration procedures. Categories are completed. Participants complete categories after achieving 10 correct responses, allowing assessment of cognitive flexibility and executive function. The sorting rules rotate on a fixed order, challenging participants to adapt to changing criteria through the test. So the person who's giving it will have a very fixed pattern that they will be told to follow, but the person taking it will just have to figure it out on their own. And then the test ends. The test concludes after completing 6 categories or 128 trials, with a typical administration time of 20 to 30 minutes. So that sounded pretty doable, especially for the younger kids to have it all done in half an hour, I thought. Examiner observations. First, there needs to be rapport and cooperation. Establishing a positive relationship enhances participant comfort, encouraging open communication during the assessment process. That reminds me of the story that Cameron told in the announcement yesterday about the Star Wars game. Effort level. Observing the participants' engagement and motivation provides insights into their cognitive functioning and willingness to cooperate. So even if they get it wrong, you're going to learn things about how they think, even from the wrong choices. And medication status. Understanding the client's medication can influence interpretation of test results and overall cognitive performance. One just makes sense, right? Whether the person is on medicine or not might depend on what their answers are. Scoring variables overviews. One is categories completed. The number of categories successfully completed indicate that the participant's ability to adapt to changing rules and conditions. Number 2 is the total errors. Total errors reflect the participants' difficulties in adjusting to a new sorting criteria and demonstrate cognitive flexible challenges. I mean, that's just trying to figure out what the new pattern is going to be, basically. And preservation responses highlight difficulties in shifting attention, indicating potential executive function impairments in the participant's performance. Versions of the WCST. The standard one is the cards that we mentioned. The traditional version includes a comprehensive set of cards for detailed testing and analysis. There's a 64 card short form, so half of the longer one, and it's a condensed version designed for quicker assessments while maintaining reliability in results and findings. And then there's the computerized versions. The digital formats improve efficiency, streamline scoring, and offer user-friendly interfaces for test administration. Clinical applications of WCST are frontal lobe dysfunction. The test is essential in assessing executive function impairments like to the frontal lobe injuries. Traumatic brain injury helps evaluate cognitive changes and flexibility in patients recovering from traumatic brain injuries. And the neurodivergent disorders. The tests identify the executive dysfunction and various neurodegenerative conditions aiding in treatment planning. The strengths are the gold standard. It is regarded as the gold standard for assessing executive function and cognitive flexibility in clinical settings. It has strong reliability across various populations, ensuring consistent and accurate measurement of cognitive abilities. I don't think I put it in the slides, but it does have questions about how it fits with different cultures, though. Extensive data. There is a wealth of normative data available for the WCST, allowing for comprehensive comparisons and evaluations across different demographics. Weaknesses and limitations. Complex scoring. The scoring procedures can be intricate, potentially leading to confusion among administrators and inconsistencies in results. The confusion between responses. Distinguishing between preservative responses and errors may create challenge in accurate interpretation of client performance. And questionable validity. The construction of the test has been questioned, raising concerns about the effectiveness across different populations. So the conclusions would be it's well established, it's a trusted tool in assessing cognitive flexibilities and executive functioning. It provides rich information, insights into individuals' cognitives and processes, enhancing our understanding and mental capabilities. And interpretation requires training. Proper training is crucial for accurate interpretation, ensuring the results are understood in context for effective application. So my thoughts after doing this was, how do you need trained that hard? It seems like relatively easy, so I don't know that. But it also, these are the strengths, and some of the papers said that it was gold standard and that it's just really valid and really good, but tons of them trashed it and said it has really low validity, and it just across the board does not hold up. And so I don't know which was correct. Obviously there's varying opinions out there of it, but I know one thing is that the older version they considered not as valid. And so then in the 90s, they tried to update it, and they brought in preservative responses and preservative errors, and those are just close enough that nobody could keep them straight. And that's where a lot of the problems and the confusion comes from that makes these not valid. And I really couldn't understand the difference the way that they were explained, so I just asked ChatGPT to explain it like a junior higher for me. And they said that it's like if you're playing a video game and you're going in the pattern that you're supposed to be, and then the person giving it to you changes the pattern all of a sudden, and you keep doing it just because it's a habit. That's a preservative response. But if the person doing the assessment says, okay, that's wrong, and then you keep doing it, that's a preservative error. And like, that's confusing, and that's where a lot of the problems come in with how valid this test really is, which I could get because it seems a little confusing. So there you have it. It seems like a pretty upfront, like, good way to do it, but I did read a lot of reviews that just did not have like great things to say about it. So I would be interested to hear somebody's opinion that actually gives it and what they think of it. But it seems like a pretty straightforward, interesting test. So hope you learned something from it.